Meowdy there, chat, comment section, whatever. I just got done making a Dark World deck. I don't know how it is. It's just a triple structure right now, but yeah, I think it's okay. Anyways, what's up everybody? My name is Seth and welcome back to the channel, and for today's video I want to talk about a previous video. Very recently I made a video titled What New Project L players might not be ready for. I'll be going over some of the points I was attempting to make in that video. At the time it wasn't really getting a whole lot of viewership, but over the course of some time it's gained a couple views for sure. The video currently, as a recording, is at 368 views. Not bad for a smaller content creator. With that being said, the channel has been getting a lot more consistent viewership and like a little bit more views than usual. So I want to say thank you all. I definitely appreciate you all stopping in. And if you feel so inclined, drop a like. And if you want to directly support me monetarily, the best way to do so right now is just to sub to the Twitch if you feel inclined to do so. If not, don't even worry about it. I do have a little bit of a script, and that is in part point of this video. Now, within that viewership, I got a comment saying that I was rambling, and I wasn't sure, like, just with the way the comment was structured, I wasn't sure if they were saying that they loved my rambling and got like a typo or something, or if they just confirmed that, yes, I in fact was rambling. So I definitely had to do some investigation. I'm definitely not going to immediately assume that this person is wrong or anything, because I definitely have my days where I like to ramble. Today's kind of like a half and half, where I do want to be a bit more concise, and that's kind of the point of this video, but also I just like talking sometimes. Sometimes I just like to chat with y'all. Anyways, I decided to investigate. I wanted to see if this person was spitting, and let me just say, they absolutely were. I was 100% rambling. I was running over my statements and points time and time again. I do like to ramble, but I don't like to say what I've been trying to say over and over again. I'm not much of a betting man, but chances are it was very much a situation a lot like today, where I just decided to wake up and record something. I have most of my energy in the morning, and that's just because I work a full-time job. It's normal for me to have energy at that time, and chances are I didn't write a script and I was just shooting off the hip, and that's kind of what caused that version of the video to be produced. Just a poor combo, poorly executed on my point. So yeah, this person is 100% right. They're absolutely spitting some facts. It's not like I get paid to make these videos. It's not like this is my job, but because I want it to be my job in the future, I definitely need to make videos that are maybe just a shade or two better than that. Maybe where I'm not running over I have a text, maybe where I'm not running over my sentences time and time again. Before we continue, I don't think this video has an error of this, but don't flame this person by any means. They're absolutely correct. The point that they made is absolutely true. I was rambling and I wasn't really making my points well. They were just correct, and that's why I'm here kind of addressing this, trying to make a better version of the video. So anyways, let's try this again. SageM made a video talking about what fighting game you should play to get into X game. In that video, there's kind of like a Predator missile lock-on for Project L. To simplify what I was saying before, if you are playing a game that is in a franchise, play the game before, i.e. the most current title as of today. So Street Fighter 5 if you're going to play Street Fighter 6, Tekken 7 if you're going to play 8, Soul Calibur 6 if you're going to play 7 whenever that gets announced, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Now, Project L is an independent game, and that is why the question comes up, what game should I play in preparation to kind of get me on my way for Project L? Generally, anything helps. You're going to gain some kind of skill set no matter what you play, but because Project L is going to be a tag fighter, most people would recommend a tag fighter of some kind, i.e. Dragon Ball FighterZ, i.e. Blaze Blue Cross Tag, i.e. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so on. You get it. We're going to get slightly tangential here in a moment, but you don't have to play anything. I think I say this in the video, but you do not need to play something in preparation. It's a good idea if you do, because you will gain some skills, and I'll get to that in a second. There are plenty of people that pick up whatever game for the first time and take to it like a fish to water. The reason I was rambling was for the people that don't take to the games like fish to water. It's for the people that struggle. It's for the people that don't know where to go and progress and fall off because of it. If this isn't you, it doesn't apply to you. The second half of the comment that this version of the video came from said, if we need to play something in order to develop thick skin, I think I'll just stick with League. If you're already mentally prepared and ready for Project L, this comment obviously doesn't apply to you. There's a reason I attempted to make that point in the first place, and it's for the mass of people that haven't developed that mental fortitude. There's plenty of people that don't feel that way. There are plenty of people that start a fighting game and quit early on because they don't know what they're looking for. They're getting bodied, they don't know how to progress, they just don't know how to find the answers to what they're looking for generally. And because of that, they go back to whatever their comfort game is because they forgot what it's like to be a less than competent player in whatever game that they are competent in, or maybe they're still garbage in that game. Maybe it's just their comfort game. Now, because you said that you can develop that thick skin by playing League of Legends, that is true to a capacity, but with that being said, losing in a team game is very different than losing on a 1v1 fighting game. There's no one else to blame but yourself, and some people haven't developed the tolerance to handle that mindset. It can be learned. Absolutely, it can be learned. And some people are more adept to actually learning that. It actually took me a little bit of time to get past myself and start to really look inward. Some people are just better at gaining that mentality. And for others, it takes a while, and for some, it just doesn't happen. The reason anyone says to pick up a fighting game before Project L is not just to develop thick skin, even though I did attempt to poorly make that point, yes. There is a lot of awkward hurdles when you're first starting learning playing a fighting game. Motion inputs are a fairly rudimentary one. I remember having the hardest time with a Dragon Punch. I still struggle with double quarter circle forward sometimes. Like, there's just inputs that are still tough for me. There's getting an idea of approaching neutral. There's recognizing strong tools your character has, learning how to play your character. Additionally, maybe it's what you look for in a character. As a League of Legends player, let's say you're a Darius fan. Let's say you're really into playing Darius top. You absolutely dunk on people. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Darius. Absolutely frame one, day one. Let's go, baby. Playing League is not playing Project L. They're two very different games. Maybe when you boot up Project L for the first time, you realize maybe Darius isn't what you're looking for in a character. And going through a character crisis in a fighting game can fucking suck sometimes, especially when you're newer. Not knowing what feels good to do and feels good to play as a newer player sucks and can be what ultimately turns you off from playing the fighting game. You started out wanting to play this big dude that swings these big normals, probably has a couple of command grabs or something like that, dunks on you, but you found out you like a rushdown or a zoner character instead. Maybe you won't have this problem, but somebody will. Even in simpler fighting games with just generally less depth, there's still a lot there. There's still a lot to dig into. There's still a lot going on and a lot of things to apply to very simple games. We don't know what Project L is going to be like. And out of what we've seen, it looks a little crazy. So there's going to be a wave of people that just go in and get their ass absolutely beat, not know where to go from there, and just end up giving up on the game. The reason why I say that is because it's happened before. In the video, I talk about my friend Brandon, and I didn't realize I was actually wearing the same shirt that I was at the time when I recorded that. But I did bring up Brandon because he's very excited for Project L. Now, he has attempted to play fighting games in the past. He has played fighting games in the past, and ultimately they ended up never sticking. So I wanted him and others to hopefully not run into the problems that he was running into previously. There are two primary ones here. He played Guilty Gear for 26 hours only to drop it. The first big thing is that I didn't know that he was only playing against myself and Vince. Playing against people wildly outside of your skill range as a beginner is only going to be for the detriment because you're going to get beat up, you're not going to know why, and even if someone explains why, they're going to understand how to counter your counter. Instead of just playing against me and or Vince, play ranked, play online, or make some friends that are also newer at the game and play against them too. Playing off against noobs as a noob is going to be the best direct way you can actually feel your improvement as a beginner player. Another point from Brandon was that he didn't feel himself improving and he didn't know how to get better. Now, it's not like I'm a fighting game god or anything, but I am at a decent enough level in the games I really sit down with that if you need any help, you can absolutely just ask. That goes for anyone in the comment section. I'll try my best to the ability that if you have a question for me, I can hopefully answer it for you. And if not me, there's a bunch of other people with that information as well. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, some friends of mine actually wanted me to coach them. In the shape of Mark and Jason, I did some match analysis. I reviewed a lot of their videos. I reviewed a handful of them. I also did live coaching with them as well, and they improved a lot because of it. I'm sure they would have improved naturally anyways, but obviously with me telling them the direct answer, it helps get over some awkward hurdles immediately. A simple piece of advice I could give would be to watch your matches, see where you're getting hit, and ask why. Sometimes there may be a very direct, very simple, easy to understand answer there, and there also may be just as many times where there's something a bit more abstract. The next piece of advice I could give as a beginner level is to just play copycat, whether that is to watch some matches online of people playing the characters that you play, copying, maybe not what they do one for one, but maybe even just a watered down version, implementing that into your game plan, and then yeah, it'll ultimately help you. There's a reason top players are doing what they're doing. It's because it's good and strong. Now, a different version of this is to play copycat in your matches that you're actually playing for yourself. Seeing yourself get hit by something and ask yourself, how can my characters incorporate that into their game plan, or a version of that? Can my characters do something similar? But yeah, that's a very good way for like very basic, easy to understand versions of improvement, assuming you already know the core mechanics of the game. If not, play the fucking tutorial. But anyways, I'm rambling.